All right, what's going on, everybody? Today is Tuesday, September 2nd. Time for another Buoy 10 update, and this is actually going to be my last Buoy 10 update for this season. I'm kind of at the point now where whatever can be said has been said. There are plenty of fish around. There's still a bunch of snook and a handful of coho above the bridge. We got into a great, excellent bite today. Lots of fun with the crew that we had today, and there's ton of them up there above the bridge, whether it's from the tankers on up to Tongue Point or on the Washington side. There's actually a few more coho on the Washington side as well, from Shipwreck all the way up into Blind Channel, Portuguese Point. So lots of fish. But here's the cool part. So the tides, the way they're set up right now, typically in years past, they push a lot of snook upriver, and that's still going to happen. But what it usually does is it means that the estuary down here becomes a little bit empty of Chinook. Well, that doesn't seem to be happening this tide series. So usually what happens is as the tides get smaller, the Chinook start to keg up, all the fish, frankly. They start to stage up by the bridge and work their way up towards Tongue Point and then around the corner up to Altoona. And then as the tides get bigger, they flush that chunk of fish upriver, and you guys upriver start catching a bunch and having a great time. And then on the back side of that, we got to wait for the tides to grow to get a handful of coho come in. And then as the tides begin to fall, we get another shot of snook that show up. Well, what it sounds like from the guys I've talked to that fish later on in the afternoon tide, yes, we're catching them above the bridge right now, but there are still a ton of fish from like Buoy 10 to Checkerboard. So we are looking at two different groups of fish that exist down in the estuary right now. The ones that we're catching above the bridge on both sides, but also downriver, there's another really good shot of kings and coho on their way. So yes, the tides might be growing, but there's enough fish around. So if you guys want to come down, I know the holiday weekend just ended. Kids are going back to school. I mean, shoot, the parking lot today was empty. There was like hardly anybody out there on the water today. A lot fewer guides, a lot fewer sport anglers. Of course, it is a Tuesday after a holiday weekend, so no surprise there. But there are plenty of fish down here, and that should only get better as the tides peak out with a ton of coho showing up and then start to drop with another good shot of Chinook. But it does close down here, I believe, September 6th for Chinook. There's going to be a run update on the 13th or 14th, where hopefully after that date, they will, just like they've done in years past, reopen it for Chinook down here in the estuary. So if you're coming in late September, there's going to be a lot of coho. Hopefully Chinook will be reopened up. And also as we get into September, October, you're going to see the crabbing get better too, and the crabs become more full. So there's a lot of really fun stuff to do down here in the estuary from now until basically end of October, because those B-run coho start showing up, and we've already seen some coho in the high teens. So this could be a pretty good coho year. Fingers crossed. Depends on weather and a bunch of other reasons, but hopefully it's a really good, well-sustained fishery. So, and actually one of my guide buddies made a good point the other day too. He said that, you know, over Bonneville Dam, they've had, 100,000 or whatever it is. Well, the forecast is 700,000. So that means that there's no way we have, what would that be, like 600,000 Chinook from Bonneville to Buoy 10 right now. Fishing's good right now, but it's not 600,000 Chinook in the river between Buoy 10 and Bonneville. So that means that the next tide series that we get, when it starts to drop, hopefully there's a reopener. In years past, it's been, we might get one or two Chinook, but it sounds like hopefully we'll have a bunch of Chinook still showing up. Fingers crossed, like usual. But this could end up being a pretty good September, October down here in the Astoria area if you guys are wanting to come down and come fish. So what I'm going to do is, like I said, this is kind of going to be my last one for this season. Thank you, everybody, so much for tuning in. But I will do a Buoy 10 recap, going over everything that I saw, experienced, kind of just look over my notes and basically make a summary of how this year's Buoy 10 season went. And then after that, I'll probably do a video or two on upriver techniques. If you guys are going to be fishing the Cowles, Lewis, Kalama, and even up there at Bonneville, up towards Hood River and on upstream too. So hopefully some of those tips will be helpful as well. So with that, thank you everybody for tuning in. I truly do appreciate it. Today was incredible. It was fun. And that should continue for all of us, whether you're fishing down here or all the way up the Columbia River, and hopefully up and down the coast too, for you guys that are fishing those other smaller rivers and estuaries throughout September and then through October. So again, thank you guys very much. A couple more videos coming up. Make sure to watch our full-length videos and tech tips that we have from other fisheries. And we'll see you guys next year. Later.